Oh yeah, here we go into lesson 5 in chapter 8 where we continue to manipulate in order to be able to integrate. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about what is known as trigonometric substitution. It's like U substitution with hot sauce, right? It's pretty spicy, but it's very, very cool and I can't wait to do it with you. So this is not on the BC exam. However, it is in most Calc 2 classes in college. And a lot of your professors who are teaching this will often just say, here, do this substitution. I don't teach it that way. I teach it with the why in mind so that we can see a process. It's a little bit difficult at first, but here's what it's for. It's great for what I call Pythagorean integrals, which means integrals that involve some form of a constant squared minus a function squared with x in it, a constant squared plus a function of x squared, and then a function of x squared minus a constant squared. And it can be in a square root or not. And so what we're going to see here is first, I'm going to go over a problem that you've actually seen before, and then I'm going to do it with trig substitution to get the same answer. So what you'll see here is we're going to find the integral of this. Now I always factor out a coefficient. So it's 1 over, I'm going to rewrite that as 4 squared plus x squared. And if you don't immediately recognize this, then you want to go back to my chapter 5 videos and revisit inverse trig integrals, right? Because this is a straight up integral of arctan. So the integral of 1 over a squared plus u squared du, some people look at it like this, is equal to 1 over a, that's being the constant, of arctan of u, the function of x, all over a plus c. That is absolutely the case. And again, go back to chapter 5 to check that one out. So we can use that here, and you can still use that here. So that would be 3 times. A is, well, 4. U is x. So we've got 3 times 1/4, 1 over a, arctan of u, which is x, all over a plus c. And that simplifies to 3/4 arctan of x over 4 plus c. So we can do it that way, or we can do it this way. And now I'm going to show you trig substitution, and this will actually show you a little bit of, well, where we're getting that arctan from. So how do we use trigonometric substitution? Essentially what we do is we first notice that a part of our integral is Pythagorean. Like you've got something squared plus something squared there. And I gotta be very clear, this is, like if you're given a whole bunch of integration options, this is an option that you use as a last ditch, or if you're told to use it. It's not like, oh, this like vaults everything else and becomes like one of the first choices that you're gonna go with when you integrate. So I notice this and I think, huh, that looks vaguely Pythagorean. Well, so what we do now is first I'm going to factor out the 3. I don't like that there. And we've got 1 over, and I'm going to keep it as 4 squared plus x squared. Now it's like, wow, that's really Pythagorean. And I can't use u sub. That's not going to work, right? Letting u equal to x squared plus 16 doesn't work well with anything. And I think if it's Pythagorean, it could probably fit a right triangle. And what I typically do with the right triangle is I put an angle down, and I usually put it right there. I draw the same right triangle every time, like this, or like that, just the same way. And I always put my variable opposite the theta, the angle. That's just what I do. And so I'm going to call that x right here. Why x? Because the only way that we could square something, and why is it a leg? The only way we can square something and then add something squared is if that's the leg squared plus the other leg squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. If there's subtraction involved, then you would know that the hypotenuse, c, right, would be involved in the problem. But since it's addition, I know that both of these are the legs. I'm going to put 4 here. Now it's arbitrary where I'm putting x in 4. But I'm putting it here just because I'm consistently going to put x there. And then what would be the length of the hypotenuse? I'm going to find that. That's going to be the square root of a squared plus b squared. X squared plus 4 squared is 16. We get the square root because c is equal to, of course, the square root of a squared plus b squared. Okay, so now I've got my triangle. We're going to basically use this triangle to substitute things. So how do I do that? Well, first things first, 1 over all of this isn't going to fly as nicely. So the first thing that I look at is just the denominator alone, and I think, how can I get 4x squared plus x squared? Or x squared plus 16? The closest I can get to that with a trigonometric ratio is if I do 4 over this, because you're going to substitute in trig functions that look relatively like that. So 4 over x squared plus 16 is the closest trig ratio I can get to this. And that's going to be, well, not quite equal to the 1 over x squared plus 4 squared that we want. So if I then take this function and I think, well, what kind of trig ratio is that? I realize that that's cosine of theta. Oh, okay, so that's cosine theta, but it's still not quite going to fit the puzzle that I want. I want x squared plus 16. So I'm going to square the top and bottom. So 4 squared is going to be 16 over x squared plus 16. Nice. And that's equal to cosine squared. Okay, so now I have cosine squared equals that. So here's the thing. I don't quite have exactly what I want to substitute in. What I want to substitute in is 1 over x squared plus 16. And that is equal to cosine squared theta over 16. So I manipulate it until I get exactly what I want. So this is equal to this. So now I get 3/16. I'm pulling out a 16 from here. The integral of 1 over 4 squared plus x squared, that's this, is cosine squared over 16. So that's just cosine squared theta. That's what I get from this part right here. Now that still has a dx, so I can't just take that with respect to dx, I got to take it with respect to theta. So how do I get theta out of this? Well, I'll get theta by looking at another ratio. That's going to be the tangent ratio, x over 4. So x over 4 is equal to theta. And you might be like, well, okay, how does that give me d theta? Because that's what I want. I need to substitute in for dx like we used to with u substitution. Well, if I take the derivative of both sides, to be very clear, sorry, this is equal to tangent theta, I should say, right? X over 4 is equal to tangent theta. So if I take the derivative of both sides, I get 1/4 is equal to, and that's 1/4 dx, secant squared theta d theta. Oh, so again, my goal is to do the manipulations that I need to do to be able to replace what's here using my triangle. That's tough. So what's the closest thing to dx? X over 4, and then I take its derivative to get there. Well, I want dx exactly, so dx is equal to 4 secant squared d theta. So dx will be replaced by 4, which I'm going to factor out of there, that 4, secant squared d theta. Ooh, and cosine squared times secant squared is 1, right? That's 1 over cosine squared. So that's going to be 3/4 on the outside, 3/4 integral. This just turns into 1 d theta. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty cool. Now what we've got? Well, we're going to integrate essentially 1 d theta. That's 3/4 theta plus c. And then we look at that and we think, well, how do I get theta? Well, back to here. In order to get theta and replace that, we'd have to take tangent inverse of both sides, or arctangent of both sides. So the arctangent of x over 4 is equal to theta. I took tangent inverse of both sides to solve for theta, which is now what theta is equal to. So 3/4 arctangent of x over 4 plus c, which is exactly what we got on the previous problem. So that is a difficult problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this process is easy. What you do, though, is you notice that you have something Pythagorean. You drop a triangle. In this case, our legs are these values because we have an addition sign. So x squared and 4 squared. We use the Pythagorean theorem to get this. Then I'm at work trying to make this ratio happen. Closest ratio I have to there is cosine, 4 over this. Gets me close. But I want exactly that or close enough to it, so I'd have to square both sides. So now I'm replacing this with that, cosine squared theta over 16. Then I've got to replace the dx. The best ratio I can get to get a dx is with tangent theta. That's x over 4. So I take a derivative of both sides to get me the dx that I need and solve for dx and substitute it all in. Keep in mind that anytime I had a coefficient, that 4, that 16, I was factoring it out immediately. It made life easier. And then I'm integrating, and we notice, oh no, I got theta. I got to replace it back with x's. X over 4 is tangent theta. Theta is equal to arctan of x over 4. So your professor might have you go through this and memorize the process. I'm going to go through it in what is a little bit more difficult to start with, but at the end of the day, if you can get down how to do the substitution, you won't have to memorize a thing. And we're going to go through a few more examples in the next video so we get stronger with it, and then check out the exercises to get further strength. That was fun, challenging, but fun. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.